Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
Exact tracked 4D radar showing you the line of storms we've been watching creep closer throughout the day here.
Look at that, just a column, and there's a live look at our Ann Arbor sky cam. We've seen dark clouds starting to roll in over the U of M campus just this past 30 minutes or so. Once the storms arrive in Metro Detroit, so as you can see, it was just a narrow strip, so it shouldn't be here for too long.
Let's get right over to Kim Adams, keeping close tabs on this fast-moving system. Kim.
Yeah, and these storms really aren't all that impressive at all. In fact, I have lightning detector on. I'm not even picking up any lightning. And as these storms move into our air mass, which is really not all that unstable, they're just continuing to weaken. So not concerned at all about widespread severe weather. But at your house, you will get a quick downpour, some thunder and lightning. It will get dark very quickly. So we are going to track these storms for you over the next couple of hours. So we'll zoom in just a bit closer so you can get an idea of where the storm is and where it's headed, this line of storms, I should say. Dexter 603, Scio 606, Hamburg 608, Webster also 608. In about 10 minutes, it will be in Heartland and then Green Oak, followed by Ann Arbor within the next 10 to 15 minutes, South Lyon at 618 and Milford at 622. And then I would say probably in the next 15-20 minutes, I'll be able to track these storms all the way into parts of Oakland County, and we'll see when it will get to this line of storms. We'll get to Novi, Northville, Plymouth, and up into Troy and Rochester. So I'll do that for you coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Kim. Some families who have been fighting to try to keep a St. Clair Shores Catholic school from closing are reacting to some upsetting news.
Even though they raised a lot of money, St. Germaine will still be shutting down for good. The school near Martin and Little Mac has been open since 1954. Pamela Osborne spoke to parents who knew this could happen but thought they'd prevented it.
It's devastating. Well, we met all the goals and they lied to us. They're closing us still.
Parents like Jeanette Hexter rallied behind efforts to save St. Germaine Catholic School from the moment they learned it was set to close. They worked to boost enrollment and raised funds.
I thought that it wasn't even a question whether they could shut us down. Like, we exceeded what their expectation was.
Emily Shanky was hurt to learn that wasn't the case.
And to find out during Holy Week that they are going to close us down and we don't have another chance, it's really sad.
In a statement, the Archdiocese of Detroit said, while it is never their desire to close a Catholic school, we recognize that the circumstances require such difficult decisions, adding concerns about long-term operational viability and the ability to provide adequate spiritual care went into the decision, which was made by a team of priests.
I wish they would have been the ones who had to tell our children that the school is not opening next year, and they would have been able to see their reactions, because it broke my heart to watch my boys break down like that.
Emily can't help but wonder what will happen to the staff at St. Germaine.
I hope in future instances, if they do this again, that they plan differently and actually think about the kids that are going to have their lives changed, and the teachers and the staff.
In a letter that went home to parents, the priests who made that decision said that they will be working with staff. They're going to be working with families in case they're interested in finding another opportunity within the Catholic schools. As for all that money that was raised in an effort to save the school from closure, it will all be returned. For now, reporting live tonight, I'm Pamela Osborne, Local 4.
It's heartbreaking for so many people that seem to love that school. Okay, Pamela, thank you.
At least 6 people remain unaccounted for in the aftermath of that devastating bridge collapse in Baltimore. A cargo ship lost power and struck the Francis Scott Key Bridge early this morning, sending large pieces of the structure plunging into the water, along with at least 8 people and several vehicles. The video is still just so unreal to watch. 2 people were pulled from the water. Search, rescue, and recovery efforts are, though, still ongoing at this hour.
To hear the words that the Key Bridge has collapsed, it's shocking. And heartbreaking.
The sight of a massive cargo ship twisted in the remains of this major Baltimore travel artery, surreal. This hour, local, state, and federal emergency response teams have been working the scene by air, by boat, and using dive teams looking for vehicles and victims. For now, preliminary reports point to an accident, say investigators.
There is no specific or credible information to suggest that there are ties to terrorism in this incident.
A mayday call from the ship's crew just before 1:30 a.m. Eastern Time gave officials critical minutes to warn motorists heading toward the bridge.
Many of the vehicles were stopped before they got onto the bridge, which saved lives in a very, very heroic way.
Initial reports from the Coast Guard indicate that a harbor pilot and assistant were on board.
Maritime and Port Authority officials in Singapore, where the cargo ship is registered, confirmed that the vessel, Dali, temporarily lost propulsion and dropped anchor as an emergency measure prior to the crash. The vessel's lights were seen flickering and then going out completely before it hit one of the bridge's key support pillars. While assessing the human toll remains the priority for response agencies, there is also a devastating impact to the region's economy.
We're one of 4 deep water ports that can handle the larger Panamax ships. We have a cruise terminal. So, getting through this is going to be really hard.
Well, President Biden said today he wants the federal government to bear the full cost of rebuilding the Francis Scott Key Bridge, and he wants that to begin as soon as humanly possible. Now, no surprise, this bridge collapse has sparked some serious conversation here about whether or not a tragedy could happen, say, on the Detroit River or up on the Straits of Mackinac in similar fashion. Rod Maloney set out to try to answer that question. Rod, let's start with the obvious question that's on our minds here at the station. Are bridges built the same way?
Right. Well, here's the thing, Devin. I got the Ambassador Bridge right behind me. If you take a look at it, you'll notice that there are no stanchions or standards in the water. And there's a good reason for that, because they are in a situation where they have hundreds of freighters a week, perhaps even more. And so they didn't put the standards in the water like they are with the Scott Key Bridge. But let's take a look down the river now and take a look at the new Gordie Howe Bridge and take a look. You'll notice that there are no standards in the water there as well, and it's by design. They know they're going to have freighter traffic here. Same goes up in Port Huron. Now, for the Mackinac Bridge, that's a different deal. It's 5 miles long. You can't go and do that long a bridge like that. So they have 6 standards in the water, but the ones in the middle have 3/4 of a mile between them. That doesn't mean that the Mackinac Bridge hasn't been struck. It's been hit by boats 3 times since 1968. A couple of years ago, actually it was last year, a crane scraped the bottom, scraped some paint off of it, no big deal. And then in 2021, in November, a 30-foot vessel hit one of the standards, and that injured the boat, but the bridge was okay. Back in 1968, they had no significant damage from a boat. A Greek freighter hit it in heavy fog. But the Coast Guard keeps an eye on it, and they're very careful up there. I have vast experience watching all of this, and I know that they're very careful about making sure that the boats can get by and get underneath.
Well, Rod, we have tons of goods that move through the Port of Baltimore. We have learned the hard way so often that the supply chain is very fragile. What are the implications here for Detroit?
This is having an economic impact, though, Devin. Yeah, we should have it. We're having economic impact here, Devin. I'm sorry, it's hard to hear. The wind is blowing really hard. But the auto companies ship about just under 1 million vehicles a year out of that port in Baltimore, and that has them concerned. Now, Stellantis is saying that they're talking to their transportation partners because they think there could be some delays, but they say that they think they can get past it. I talked to Ford and General Motors. They both said that they do ship vehicles out of there, but they have options and alternatives. They don't expect it to have much impact. And I also spoke with Toyota. They said that they don't do that many vehicles out of there, but they do some. But they say that they're going ahead and looking for alternatives. So it's going to be an economic impact even here in Metro Detroit, but it shouldn't be that significant. At least that's what the car companies are saying tonight.
Well, let's hope, because it is obviously going to be a long time in the fixing. Yeah. All right, Rod. A big transition underway at the University of Michigan. Today was our first chance to hear from the man tapped to replace Juwan Howard as Michigan's head basketball coach.
Dusty May was introduced today in Ann Arbor. Our Jamie Edmonds was there. A fresh start here for the Wolverines.
Absolutely fresh start. And when you think about the timing here, Kimberly, they wanted to bring in a proven winner, and Ward Manuel moved fast. Dusty May's FAU Owls just lost to Northwestern on Friday night in the NCAA tournament. By Saturday, Ward Manuel was meeting with May in Florida. Today, the head coach was introduced. Kudos to Manuel, but also to John Beilein, who helped seal the deal. May was asked about Beilein today.
Never waver from the integrity of the game, from the responsibilities we have as head coaches. So I've taken a number of things from Coach Beeline. Obviously, I watched his teams here. Several of the players have reached out, and I'm excited to develop those relationships and continue building on what all these coaches have done here.
Now, May was linked to the Louisville job, but today May said Michigan is the place he wanted to be. His youngest son was born in Ann Arbor. Oh. That was when May was an assistant at Eastern, and he says this job is just the right fit. He's a big fit guy.
Yeah.
So more coming up
Full
in
circle,
sports.
kind of. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Jamie. Well, perhaps you've heard Detroit is hosting the NFL Draft, and it's happening just 30 days from now.
That's this year?
Yeah, it's right around the corner here. They're calling it the largest, most inclusive sporting event in the history of Michigan. Mayor Mike Duggan was joined by the organizing committee and business partners today to announce a few things. Chiefly, that construction of the big stage at Cadillac Square will begin Friday, and so will the road closures around Campus Martius and Hart Plaza. Aside from the two main hubs, Draft Day and the D, viewing parties will be held all around downtown, including Grand Circus Park, Beacon Park, Capitol Park, and others. Detroit Police will have its full contingent on duty. Mayor Mike Duggan saying today the department had to deny some vacation requests to make sure everyone's on hand for draft weekend. And there's one more thing the organizers want to make sure everyone knows.
We want to remind everyone, this is a free event. Don't call around trying to get tickets. All you need is to download the One Pass. If you don't have a One Pass, we have an option for you. Just come on down and enjoy what is going to be a free event for all of us.
The NFL One Pass app is available for free download in both the Apple and Google Play stores, and we have a link to download that app and a complete guide to everything fans need to know about the NFL Draft in Detroit at clickondetroit.com. Just click on the Sports tab or type NFL Draft into the search bar.